Good evening, viewers. I am ALANA NADIR with Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Jamaica. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says health officials in Jamaica are collaborating with international partners and agencies as more research is being conducted on the newest COVID-19 variant, Omicron. Speaking during a recent COVID Conversations press briefing, Tufton said that following reports that a traveler from Jamaica to the United Kingdom had tested positive with the Omicron variant, it can be concluded that the variant is within Jamaica's population. Against the background, national epidemiologist Dr. Karen Webster said that there are some changes in the genes of the Omicron variant that's associated with possibly higher transmissibility. Still with news in Jamaica, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says a new firearm bill will be brought to Parliament that will outline the harshest consequences for the possession of illegal guns. Possessing an illegal weapon increases the means and likelihood of the possessor escalating to committing murder or other serious crimes. All Jamaicans should speak with one voice against the illegal possession of firearms, he said. He told the nation that an estimated 85% of all homicides in Jamaica are committed using an illegal firearm, meaning a gun that was brought into the country illegally, never registered into the National Firearm Database, and the owner was never put through a process to determine whether they are fit and proper to possess a firearm. Holness said that his administration intends to expand the use of Zones of Special Operations, ZOSO, to control crime and homicide in selected communities. Now for news from St. Martin. It's a tragic start for the new year in St. Martin. An 18-year-old girl has been held in connection with the fatal stabbing of a teenage girl in St. Martin, which occurred Saturday night. The deceased, who is 13 years old, was reportedly stabbed in her chest by the 18-year-old. The name of the victim has not been released. According to the police of St. Martin, it received a call about a stabbing that took place after 7 p.m. on L.B. Scott Road in the vicinity of John Cooper or Jose Lake Ballpark. At the scene, the patrol and paramedic found the teenager bleeding and showing very little signs of life. She was transported to the St. Martin Medical Center (SMMC), but she subsequently succumbed to her injury. The circumstances that led to this fatal stabbing is under investigation. And finally, in Barbados, as plans are being made in the run-up to the January 19 general election, the Electoral and Boundaries Commission (EBC) says that the issue of COVID-19 positive persons exercising their right to vote was discussed during a virtual press conference on Saturday. The conference was convened to update the public on preparations being made to ensure their safety on Elections Day. Head of the COVID-19 Monitoring Unit, Ronald Chapman, indicated that persons at the Harrison's Point Isolation Facility or any other isolation facility and those in home isolation would be required to stay put on Elections Day. Chapman explained that the Harrison's Point and other isolation facilities were extensions of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and persons hospitalized stay put during an election. He added that the Ministry of Health and Wellness recently announced the presence of the Omicron variant in Barbados and warned that it is even more infectious than the Delta strain. However, Chapman made it clear that he was not saying people who were COVID-19 positive could not vote. And that concludes this evening's edition of the Regional News. I am ALANA NADIR. Thank you for joining.